Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it. It won't be easy. It may take generations. Centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. You certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to. Does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything. What is it this time, Torgal? Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
First the skies, then the griffin.
Say what you will, Lady Karen Sears.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want my iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal? All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
How are you doing?
Quick look.
Think you can help?
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, Shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up, for never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be...
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom. It's only right that I return the favor.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found. But perhaps it is best that you hear the details.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive. But this book... it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. It's important.
How may I help you today, Clive? All yours. Come again. I may have more for you.
Clive, my boy.
Harpocrates. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
And you seek a rare gem, one whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivi.
Right as always, but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The Executors...
The Executor?
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the Executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she
by the hand of the Executor.
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the Executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
My hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from...
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the Executors are rife among the scholars of Storr, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. But, though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easy.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times.
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to me.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many, but in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But and yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite them?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on them.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. And he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dhalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you.
Sid, do you have a...
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such...
Finding bearers always was her... And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her. Bearers with no one to look after them. When Ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by... And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk ship...
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the...
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, and we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we...
Thank you, Sid. There was Chadwick, another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in the...
He must be very important.
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the port. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive.
As do I, Doris.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help.
It depends what we're...
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Cursebreak. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's if...
I don't mind, but...
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys' testing?
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending us and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. Well...
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
What do you think happened to...
Sid! You have to...
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions.
No. Well, yes. But that's not...
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting strange. Very strange.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When...
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's invention. Don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together.
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together? She seems really
Why don't I go and see if I can...
You do that. She's in her...
Don't scare him. It's not a real...
Thanks for the warning. Mid.
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about... Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so... I'm gonna do... The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them, but not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First, I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if her godfather's offering to lend a hand, first I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they're making. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers...
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Mididol mentioned a new project yet? Miss Shirley says your books made quite an impression on the children. You inspire them to become writers themselves.
That crystal certainly don't bode well. But just think of all the secrets it must hold. Here, if you're planning on going up there, you could bring a bit back for me, could you? That crystal certainly don't bode well. But just think of all the secrets it must hold. Here, if you're planning on going up there, you could bring a bit back for me, could you?
Do you suppose it's magic keeping the thing afloat?
What else could it be?
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid.
Of course.
It is an honor to finally... My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time. I wish to be deployed to Ash.
No. The lands across the... I will not send good men and women to risk their life. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. I was raised in an or rather, It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous. Cid, allow me to travel to...
You were a good friend, but the fact remains that Ash is simply...
Cid, please.
Too dangerous for you. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your...
I don't know.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this...
Vie de Grace. Hidden in a...
All right.
May the mothers guide.
All right, Cid. Come to buy us around.
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts.
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em hard enough and they'll break. If it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better.
I do. And I know to give them. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Carava, near Ul Bidza. Or what's left of the village anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard.
I'll keep that in mind.
There's something about it.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't...
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will.
His will?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remain. And in the process of doing so, they found...
I'm surprised anything survived it.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much...
Very well.
So, what'll it be? That it? Fine.
Mid's well. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough.
I have some things for sale. May we meet again. Here we are again. Karava, if you were a tortoise talker, where would you hide? It looks like we found him. I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Are you buying or selling? Of course. Go safely.
I have some things for sale. Thank you. May we meet again.
Your Grace, my lord.
Cyril, you found a letter from...
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins. Archduke Elwyn saw...
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom over small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message, nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the...
It's a pity only they are still with her.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's, but one at least remains. And she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one...
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord, Your Grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it.
Lift up your head, Lady. You have our gratitude for your service to our house.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosari.
My lady, Perhaps you... What exactly is the gift?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished article, but with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, you are grown men now. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his, I know that nothing would have pleased him more.
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May I...
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal, it is found in the bellies of elder griffins. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield?
What say you, Joe?
What else?
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is. For House Rosfield. Too slow. over.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Oh, thank the founder. The Griffin is slain.
And the Heartstone claim.
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame. Thank you, my lord. Your father would be...
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is...
Thank you, Cyril. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. The Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and the graven vines encircling the stone.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and out, enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, but this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be...
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intention, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and
thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, and so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and...
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father...
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial? Let him see that you have received his blessing.
I suppose it would be churlish. What do you say, Clive? Should we?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix. I prithee claim it. For it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive.
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry, and he sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard...
Was he surveying another fallen...
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some an ancient religion that worshipped Alt. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped...
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? A continent teeming with orcs and Akashic.
Fully cognizant, I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the third chair. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained, yet it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience, for as you so earnestly advised me.
But Ash is a big place.
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him, Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the south. If aught ill befell...
Right.
You are much too kind. Go then, with my hopes. And may the firebirds...
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the third chair first, shall we?
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait. You're welcome anytime.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared.
It's all right.
Good girl.
Faster!
can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need you. Please, Field.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men.
You're finished!
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just...
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning... But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord, Mark. Or is Sid the Outlaw Morty?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it.
Before I agree, I'd have you answer one. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos, that I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right one, I know I made them for the right reason. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now, we have a chance but in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. You are no ordinary... I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to...
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to... we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen.
I'm flattered. And I have other problems too. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port...
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Why the hell would... to take the bearer's side?
Can you believe we were going to win?
I think we'd better shut up.
Who can say what Lubor is plotting?
Are you looking for something in particular? Go with Gilbert.
The bastard's been lying to us.
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost...
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is one...
If it's within my power to help...
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace, and if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can think of only one place where they are certain to be...
Of course.
Thank you, Clive.
Lubor!
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy. A damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in Ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned. And they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance. We need to evacuate. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready. Well, what do you wait?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find... Tell them to prepare for a full and...
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else. You have to listen to me. They're coming.
Why do they always have to make such a... What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood. Out the camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right...
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the squares. You may believe his lies, my lord.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident. Lubor cannot be trusted, and...
You may not trust me. But for the sake of your people, if there is any chance that this is true...
There isn't. You can be... Now, be off with you.
You're making a mistake.
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save them.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
I think we'd better shut up.
What's Lubor raving about now?
Lord Ferda.
Cid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted. A bloody fool. Which means the town guard can't be counted on, but I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalam, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Cid! Ferda! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor? I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend and Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come...
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There won't be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves. It's you who should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far, far away!
Run!
Just go!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes!
Go! Go on, then.
Go on, go!
Just go.
Lubor, wait. Someone's coming.
Go.
Come on!
Stop! You're hurting him! What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly round here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist.
Lubor, we have heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage. And they are utterly... With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to... When these creatures come, Dalimil will have the bitterest. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take this. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalim. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, and the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so...
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside these. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets, our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell...
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws. Cheratina, its main host, is most likely still there. And Dalimil will not be safe.
A little gardening.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds...
Luckily so.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing...
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting. Good girl.
Faster! Good. Any man sighting an Akashic is to raise the alarm.
There it is. The flood. But what's waiting for us inside? Be safe. Can't leave a single one alive. Nice try.
The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalimil and...
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
The last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive!
It's done.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back, and we need not fear the arrival of any more. Victory!
We bloody... Lubor, after all you have done for this town.
But we did. And we only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalimil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together. Just...
Of course.
And second, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same right. They will not be judged by what...
As we failed to do.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in...
Condition accept. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of... How fickle. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, here.
Lubor.
Fear not. You are, of course, relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up. I'll make sure they're safe.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children.
Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
Good girl.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world?
Of course, to have overcome Father's political enemies. That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. If he was with us, would have made all the difference.
He's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward, then?
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
What are you after? That all, is it?
If Joshua's worried about Jill... Joshua, I don't think I'd realized how different, but...
I suppose it's not hard.
She doesn't think she belongs.
And that's why we need to remind her, to let her know that we still need her. Now more than ever. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. You remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Dutch, and Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Mans?
To see the snow daisies. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the country.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business.
Mans Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for Bandit?
I'm saying we should first go and see if they're... What would you do without me, Clive?
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared.
We keep looking. Mans Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of.
Then why not ask someone who might...
Someone at the backyard. Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies. Mid, tell me...
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me, this is all...
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over and a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Gear's that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling.
Wait, the children... When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back.
The young'uns? But why would the... You know, I'll keep working on the model. You go...
Sid! Is Mitch...
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? Is it an air...
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something, a brass gear. A tiny one. One that might...
Oh! The one you...
We saved it, just in case.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then all the pieces that are left over, we keep under our bed.
That's...
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more...
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about you.
Thanks, Cid.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Well?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice as...
Will it work? He's perfect!
What exactly are you going to use it?
Only the most important. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right cog in the right place... Well, you'd... That should do her. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head? Or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat flat. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that, and I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
What brings you down from the heavens, Cid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are... I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, both have similar climbs and the right elevation.
Right.
Did you learn where we might find our
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrak.
The fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote... I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, so I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilafeist Bay,
whose shores border the meadows. Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Welcome, welcome. And a fine, fine day to you. The garrison is threatening to pull sentries from the markets of local.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now.
Hang the Duke and his...
If Philippe's gone, who's our new captain?
Welcome back. Wraiths give you
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Look, brother. You see them? I do. The
flowers and our friends. Too slow. What do you see, boy? Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
Enough! That was harder than I expected. But found her. It was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you, Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
Much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive, for this, the flowers, for
Everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right.
And we'll do it together.
No need to ride from here. Quinton, I have a proposal.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of goat. Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps...
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, the people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and who's to say you couldn't convince the entire...
A stirring... I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
A fortress?
And who'll pay for that?
I'm nervous.
Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no...
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes.
I am. But I swore I'd face him. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour. Just...
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions.
So...
You haven't even... Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite... You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect, and all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial...
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limit.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me. These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword! Then run!
If you want him...
Enough!
Gone. course.
I didn't expect you back. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
He must have fled. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. He was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he...
I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid!
He did what he thought was best. And now I have to...
Of course. Well, wait. Don't you leave my son.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
A fortress?
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now. Your town needs you.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizen's watch. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for body. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of North...
Of course.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do? Philippe told me he had men stay...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you... I wish to speak to you about what might...
Very well. I trust you'll forgive me.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his... Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against... Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. He must be made to face the consequences of his act.
And who would make him do that?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded... Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden in... My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must... He's all scornful of the opinions of anyone he judges, but he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk. We must fight him.
Fight him? No. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our... While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother if you will extend me the same courtesy. I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry. Where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so...
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
Your town needs you.
What does the dame have to say about all this?
So you are content to abandon... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to
That's exactly what I am, or trying to at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in... Thank you so much for your...
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgewise. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway...
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she's right as always. We've had some reports, you see.
They're back.
Seems that way. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing...
Right.
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere...
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here.
Ready, girl? Run like the wind. Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town. It's over. Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems I dispatched the few that I found there.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from we might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other.
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there, just...
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? I'll do what I can to calm things. Be careful out there, or...
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sanbreque, just as Great Griga wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like I got them spaced out at regular intervals. We're Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to...
Thank you, Philip. Rest assured, the people will play their part. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the...
Thank you, my lady.
I'll play my part. You still want for numbers. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oroville. I fought a few of these things. And well, I can't promise to hold them all.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins, you can take refuge in the barracks. We'll be safe there.
Come on.
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun. That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to, and today there are more than ever.
Madam Isabel, in these I see that it is not men like me who should lead the
You're right. If only I'd listened.
Forgive me for saying so, milady. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to, and that goes for you. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain.
Well, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Can we get you anything?
No need to worry any longer.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wound? I'll be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, but I sense you would rather have died here. For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. I was Carla then. Courtesan to the noble. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my... Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest man I have ever... After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me, and so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, those that could be healed at least.
He passed away.
He did. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace. It was the greatest gift I have. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. And so I swore that I would return the kindness that Northreach showed, that I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive, and I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be the people, the soldiers, all united in defense of this town. And what of you? Can we count on your support?
Always. Uncle, the Field Marshal has agreed to you.
Ha! Of course he has.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Porterzold. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not. He asked if I might have a solution. And I said,
one of your...
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his.
Another outlaw? Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in there. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, the 7 high houses we'll be seeing. They have all agreed to make the most generous. Oh, of course, it did take a little, but luckily I had some
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumour has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward, Rockford, from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a hand.
Well, the old battle axe was so she had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks, and when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as... Now, I must be getting... Join us there at your earliest convenience.
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as...
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a bandicoot. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the but I'm sure that you wish to continue your... Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of... Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between...
Us? Friend?
I can't stand that...
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you...
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the bloody Outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that there will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot, if we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident the fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has...
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, my quill. Well, my boy.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only, we shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. I want you to keep this signed accord.
I will.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is Sid gonna do it?
You should have seen it.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back.
Yes. Welcome back. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear...
No. Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of... but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved...
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honour. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck it. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more...
Wait, Sergeant. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, after all.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got them by sniffing out that log. Young Ember here has shown he has a conquering art. Wouldn't do to waste it now.
Fine.
I'll do whatever. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I'll show you. Just...
Daft as a brush there, man. But his heart's in the right. Just like someone else would. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulder.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done. Next thing you know, he'll be asking... Chance would be a find.
Forgive me, Sid. This...
But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make... Remember that.
I will, Sid.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Haven't seen any of those beastly blue eyes. Do be careful.
I will.
Come on.
Whoa.
No holding back.
Be safe. Ready, go?
You deserve a rest. these things.
Fly, Ambrosia.
This might take a while.
Have care.
His Highness to madness! On your knees!
He hasn't heard. And it doesn't look like he's willing to listen. Damn it. Dion would have been... Glad to have you back at his side.
Sancfordian, do you? No scratches, all right? Could last you a good while. Anything else?
You alright?
Something troubling you?
No more. It's just... Eddie's baby will be coming.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north. Families would always make gifts when a bet. I'll let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new home.
So?
Well, the problem is that Ed is due any day now. And I don't know if...
Is there anything I can do to help? All right then. What exactly are we...
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather. There's naught lucky in all the realm. Oh, thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but...
Only the big day is fast approaching.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with travelling traders plying the northern...
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha. I think I might make that my first port of...
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me. I'm looking for something.
Oh, well, then I'm your man.
A silver chocobo feather.
Oh, or maybe not. Though you're not the first. There was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, claiming he was near some gutted hovel. Most took him for a braggart and a liar.
We'll see.
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to.
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone. Or perhaps a bawdy etching of the vice.
I'm looking for a silver...
If that's the case, no one has seen us. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good luck. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their damnedest not...
You're probably right.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Can I help you with something?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers?
I deal in fruit, but if it's fancies you're after...
Was a silver chocobo seen?
Oh, yes. If you but...
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon. Right. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
Yeah!
Bandits for a change. More tracks. And these look fresh. The chocobo was here. And recent. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.